Thank you, Mayor Morrison, and thank you, the San Diego Foundation. Can everybody hear me okay? Well, welcome to the Art Center, our beautiful home here in National City. And I'm sure that there was probably a few of you when you got the invitation to come and have a discussion about building future communities. What does a kids' art center in National City have to do with that? And what does a kids' art center have anything to do with building the communities of the future? And my response to that would be, valid question, but we have everything to do with being a partner in building communities of the future. Because the students here will be the next mayor, the next city councilor, the next business owners, educators. They're going to be leading the community of the future, so to not include them in that process would be a huge mistake. And what we've learned over the years is that you have to include the users of the space. I see National City as a gathering place. So who's going to be using it? You got to include everybody. So we moved to National City 3 years ago. One of the smartest decisions and luckiest opportunities we ever had. And our first order of business was to create a gathering space, a safe, nurturing, colorful, vibrant space where kids and families could come. It's not school or home or even the street corner, but a safe environment for them to, there's a Thomas Merton quote up here, actually. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time, and that's what our purpose was. And so we didn't do a multi-million-dollar campaign to hire the brightest and most innovative architects and designers and planners to create the space for the kids. We felt the better approach would be to create the space by the kids. And so we didn't have a lot of treasure, but we had a lot of time and talent. We had those in abundance. And so you'll see that the kids' handprints are all over this place. That's the beautiful peacock you see over here. They painted, they were, depending on their age and their skill set and their desires, they were involved with conceptualization of spaces, of the design of spaces, and actually the creation of spaces. And you can see everything in here they've had their hand in. So when we moved here, what you're in right now is the old city library, and they built a beautiful state-of-the-art library across the park. And they reconfigured it into an art center, and the city asked us to come in to activate it for the community. And the city did a great job in reconfiguring the space. And no offense, Mayor, but it lacked a certain vibrancy and color. And so that was the lobby when we came in here. And after the kids and artists got a hold of it, it turned into that. And it's continually evolving. The hallway out here, I mean, it's a little bit like a cell block, like turned it into that. And I've seen, there's some reaction here like, oh, wow. You know, the thing about space and environment is that it has a neurological, a physiological, and a psychological effect on us. It changes moods, attitudes, and behaviors. And that's at the root of what we're trying to do. And so by creating this vibrant space, half the battle's won by them just walking through the door. This was the music room before and after. The room we're in right now, it's not a great shot, but before and after. And so as we've been creating this space, and this building will be a work of art in progress for years and years to come. We just signed a new lease on Tuesday, long-term lease with the city, which we're very excited about. But in parallel to that, as Paul mentioned, that we were introduced to Malenko up at the Pomegranate Center. And we had always been doing community work, community art projects. We get hired to do a mural or a public work of art. And it was a great impact on the students and the community, but we wanted to deepen that. We weren't sure how to deepen that experience for both until we met Malenko. And Malenko and Pomegranate Center have been doing this community-based artwork for 26 years. They're experts in it. And so as Paul mentioned in the gallery earlier, Serendipity, also known as Paul Eichen, brought us together. And so we're their first national affiliate because they were looking to expand their work outside of the Seattle area. And so we wanted to take it on because we had a need. We were doing this work, but we wanted to do a more meaningful work. And when we moved to National City, we really became more of a community-based organization. And we asked ourselves two questions. We've created this safe, nurturing, vibrant, colorful place here in San Diego, in National City. Now, why can't the city be that? Why can't we continue to partner with all the great things that the mayor and the city council and staff are doing? And why can't the community be safe, vibrant, colorful, inspirational? And how can a youth-based art center be a catalyst for change? How can we be a partner and get our youth civically engaged in their community through art and design? And so through the Pomegranate Partnership, we've been able to do that. And we'll get into it during the panel, but basically the Pomegranate methodology is you've got an artist that leads the project, but they're really, in our case, the artist is the artist, they're an arts educator, and they're a community organizer. And so the process is you start with a community meeting, bringing everybody from the community out. You find that space where this art is going to go, this gathering place, and the neighbors, the business owners, city officials, everybody comes together to envision what's possible. And everybody gets a voice. And you've got young and old working together, doing little design charrettes. And then, it's a very well facilitated meeting. It's a long meeting, probably like 4 hours. There's criteria, there's ground rules, there's an agenda. And then everybody gets up and does their presentation of what they would like to see in this gathering place. And it's an incredible process, incredible inclusive process that everybody feels ownership and heard. And so after that first meeting, then we go into a 2-day, 12-hour-a-day design session with our youth and artists, designers, landscape architects, that's Elisa, showing the kids, okay, what are we going to plant there? What are the different plants that would be conducive to this environment? So it's a really great educational opportunity for the students. And from those meetings to the final stage, which is a 4-day, 12-hour-a-day barn raising build, every weekend there's something. So in the design of these spaces are all these artistic elements, whether it's the landscape architecture, picking out the plants, tiles that need to be created for mosaics, woodworking, banners that are going up. There's always something happening. So people see progress every day or every week, and they're inclusive in it. This place was packed with community members creating elements for the gathering place. And so this is Butterfly Park, which didn't have a lot of butterflies. But they did have a lot of, it was an illegal gathering place, if you will. I mean, a lot of activity there that was not appropriate, especially for a neighborhood with kids in it. And so, as I mentioned, we took this space, and then the final stage is a 4-day build where you've got everybody in the community out there. I mean, the mayor was out there 4 days, 12-hour days building. You've got people that are artists. You've got people, the fire chief and police chief were flipping burgers and cooking for the community. You had people playing music just to make everybody happier during those long days. And you turn it into a more beautiful gathering place where they wanted a stage, they wanted a table, they wanted kind of free space. You can't see all of it, but there's all the different elements that turned into more beautiful artistic space that all the neighbors were involved with, and they have ownership of it. They steward it, they take care of it. They call us if something needs to be fixed, or they call the city, and Public Works goes out and fix it. So that's part of the process. The process is just as important as the final product. We did a similar project over in City Heights, Manzanita Gathering Place, which is very successful as well. We pulled 39 hypodermic needles out of this place. And it was like homeless encampment with mattresses and a lot of gross stuff. But we turned it into a more beautiful gathering space that the community utilizes, and they do cleanups there every weekend, and it's transformed that spot. We also see communities within communities. So schools are communities to us. So we'll take schools that are maybe a little blighted or weathered and worn and turn them into more beautiful gardens and spaces for kids to learn. I also want to kind of acknowledge that these are like permanent installations that we've been doing, but also the importance of pop-up and temporary installations. This is a project we did with San Diego Contemporary Art Fair, and they wanted to do a gathering space out front during their run last fall. And so we just took upcycled materials, created furniture. Our artist in residence extraordinaire, Sean, created this piano that when you played it, all the lights would light up. And so the importance of pop-up spaces is that a lot of lots and land are owned by developers that haven't been developed yet. So how can you create spaces that are maybe temporary, but it can be used until the land is used for the more permanent space? So that's kind of the work that we're doing here. We just launched an initiative in partnership with the San Diego Foundation, Pomegranate Center, numerous donors and governments Over the next 3 years, we'll be doing 30 projects over 3 years within 3 square miles of the Art Center. And a number of them will be gathering places. A lot of them will be public art, but we'll be using the same process and methodology. So with that, I know I'm hopefully under my 10-minute line. I'd like to hand it over, and we'll discuss more during the panel discussion, but that's an introduction to our work. Thank you.